So greetings, friends and followers. This is Nurses Talking. I am Dale Barzy. And as always, if you like what you see and hear, subscribe. Leave us a comment. We would love to know what you think. So here we speak to nurses anywhere in the world, at any stage in their nursing career, whether they're students or retirees or anywhere in between and in whatever area of nursing they are working. And so today, my very special guest is Miss Lonesha Evon. Lonesha is a recent registered nurse graduate. So welcome, 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 Lonesha.
Thank you.
I always want to know why people are nurses, and so I want to know, did you always want to be a nurse?
I did not. At first, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. So I was on the psychiatrist path, and then I realized that I wanted to be more engaged with people. So I figured, I was like, I want to be a nurse. It finally clicked for me, and I was like, I want to be a
nurse. All right. And so I think you became a nurse this year.
Yes, I became an RN this year, and I became an LVN in 2015.
Okay. All right. So you were working as an LVN and now you're an RN. And
yes.
I know that you have experience. Well, I know that you've experienced some challenges in this journey. You've had an accident and all of that, which left you as an amputee. Yes. So yes. How did you address or overcome these challenges? What kind of challenges you face? Because it is your arm that is amputated.
Right.
So how did that impact you?
Well, I lost my arm in 2019 when I was hit head on by a drunk driver. On my way home from RN school at the time. I was in the RN program at my school. And it definitely changed my life, not for the worse, but for the better.
Okay.
Because I feel like I have more confidence now than I did before I had two arms.
Okay.
And I just feel like my faith is better. I have more optimism towards things in life. So it definitely gave me like a different outlook on life. I have daily challenges. I mean, it's and as an amputee, your challenges are never done. Every day you face something that you feel like it's impossible to do. And so you sometimes, you have to step back from it, think about it, and then, present to it again.
I have to tell you that I can't imagine what that feels like, because in itself, nursing is difficult enough. And so to have to do it with one arm is I don't even know. The only word I could come with right now is superlative. It must be a daily. You said a daily challenge. I am thinking an hourly challenge. Really?
Yes. Yes. When you think about it, yes, especially with a toddler. I have a 4-year-old. So a 4-year-old boy at that. So his energy level is 1,000 every day. so yeah, it's an hourly minute challenge.
Wow. That's really I really truly admire that. So I see that you said that you had some difficulty taking your boards or getting results from your boards.
Yes, I did. I went to take my boards in Tyler, Texas, which was the closest Pearson to me. And they do your fingerprints, and they do your palm scan or whatever. And I went in there to do a palm scan, and obviously I don't have a left arm. So he asked me to put my my left palm up there, and I was like, I can't. And he was just like, he just kind of looked at me like, well, you can't take your test today if you don't apply with the rules. And I lifted my nub up, and I was like, no, I literally
Don't
can't.
have, yeah.
And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so I did the right palm scan, and what he was supposed to put in the system was he was supposed to create a ticket saying that I did not have a left arm. Instead, it just said that I didn't want to give my left arm. So it was as if I entered the testing center without being verified,
But yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So I had to go back and do several palm scans. And at one point, I thought I was gonna have to send in proof that I didn't have an arm, and I was thinking, why would somebody lie about not having an arm? And so it took several weeks. And I finally called, and they told me that my results should be showing, and this was after like 3 to 4 weeks, almost a whole month and a week, really. And it showed that I had passed after all of that.
Well, you see, and I don't know, right there when you talk about that, when I read it, I thought, well, clearly something needs to be changed, and I hope somebody's
Yes.
paying attention, because I can understand that he put the wrong information in. He's a human being. He can,
Exactly.
it could happen. But I don't understand why, when it comes to what comes to your attention, when you follow up and say, listen, where are my results? I couldn't put my palm in because why you had to go so many times back and forth and jump through so many hoops just to get that. And so clearly in that process, something needs to be fixed because, anyway, I am so happy that you got your results anyhow.
Thank you.
So as an LVN, what areas did you work in?
As an LVN, I started right out the gate in pediatrics. That was my first job because I love the kids, I love the babies. So I just kind of stayed in that area, the pediatric home health. I did geriatrics part time, but yeah, that was my strong suit. It was pediatrics.
And so now, where are you?
Now I am in rehab.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm in rehab, and I like it. I really do. It's different,
Yeah.
but I like it. I am still in geriatrics PRN, but mainly my main suit right now is rehab.
It's rehab. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm really going to ask you a very delicate question, because I want to know how. I get that. First of all, how are your colleagues to you?
Oh, they're wonderful. I don't have any issues. They're very helpful when I ask them. Every now and then I may have like a hiccup, and I do believe that sometimes they forget that I only have one arm.
So and that's okay, they're human too.
Yeah, and they always tell me, like, we forget that you have one arm because you just, move so fluently doing things, and you hardly ever ask for help. But when I do ask for help, they just kind of look, and then they forget, and then it comes back to them. Oh, she has one arm,
How do your patients react?
Oh my goodness, they have the geriatric department. They have, I mean, elderly people, they're just straightforward.
They say what they want.
They say what is on their mind. So I have been asked so many times, what happened to your arm? Were you born like that? And I had one of them ask me, what happened to your wing? Who clipped your wing off?
Oh my goodness. Well, it is good. It is good that it's good that they or maybe I should ask you, is it good that they actually ask you? and not just pretend that they didn't see it?
I love when people ask, because it's my testimony, and I don't mind,
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
mind telling it at all. So when people ask, I just give them the short, simple version of it. I don't go all the way into detail, but unless they ask. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love when they ask.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think so. Well,
Mhm.
I would think so because, sometimes people pretend that they don't see things. They don't necessarily have to ask, but at the same
Mhm.
time, they're not sure how to act. So I'm glad that your person,
Yeah.
and it's actually your personality that allows people the freedom
Mhm.
actually to approach.
Thank you.
So, what would you say then? And I realize that I'm asking this of someone who has been a nurse for a very short time, but in that short time, you have done quite a bit. So, what would you say is your greatest achievement so far? And I say so far because I can see that Lonesha is going to do some stuff. So, what would you say is your greatest achievement so far?
You said to the people that I've met so far.
No, just your greatest achievement as a nurse so far.
My greatest achievement as a nurse was definitely finishing nursing school, because I honestly never thought that I would see that day.
Mm-hmm,
Considering
mm-hmm.
like everything that I had to go
That was going
through,
on. Mm-hmm.
I really didn't think that I would see that day. Like I cried when I saw that I had passed boards. I cried when I graduated because it was just surreal. It was the most surreal thing.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So what is your
Mhm.
vision? What is your big vision for you in this nursing thing?
My vision is not just to be a RN going to work every day, because um I don't feel like that's me. I love telling my story because I feel like it will help someone else. Um I do want to travel and tell my story, as well as work in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't know if I'm sure there is, because I've seen it. There are other, nurses like me that are, amputees and things like that. Um, but I wanted to explore motivational speaking.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I want to explore. Um, but I don't quite know, how to get into it. I've had people, ask me to, speak and things like that, but it's not like I want to travel and
Yeah,
do
you
it.
want to be on that speaking circuit.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
hope somebody somewhere is looking at this. So, yep.
Mhm.
I get that. I get that.
Mhm.
I'm happy. I'm really happy you said that because as I'm talking to you, what I'm getting is that you have so much to offer here, uh,
Mhm.
and not just because of what happened, yes, because of that,
Mhm.
but also because of what I'm getting from your personality. You talked about it strengthening your faith. You talked about it
Mhm.
giving you a sense of optimism and confidence.
Mhm.
And this is something that really, really needs to be shared because be surprised how many people are going through life
Mhm.
without confidence and
Mhm.
without any sense of optimism or purpose and just barely putting one foot in front of the other. So for that, I really hope you get on that circuit, my dear.
Mhm. That's what I want. That's definitely what I want. Um, and hopefully I can, see it through one day.
Yeah, that would really be that would be an awesome thing. I would love to hear you. So
Mhm.
what advice would you give to somebody who wants to be a nurse?
I would tell them, don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my number one thing
Mm-hmm.
is Don't give up.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people I actually failed level 3 the
Mm-hmm.
first time.
Uh-huh.
I failed it, and I was repeating it when I had my car accident.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my second time going through level 3
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the nursing program. Then I had my car accident, and that put me back 2 years. And I thought, oh my God, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try to go back.
Yeah.
And when I was pushed, to go back because, she told me she could only save my spot for so long.
Mm-hmm.
That was my third time. They say third time is a charm.
Yeah.
That was my third time going through level 3, and it wasn't any easier at all. People
Yeah.
ask me, was it easier your third? No, it was not. It was the same amount of hard the first two times.
Yeah.
And when I completed it, it was just like, wow, I didn't give up. So when you complete something that you've worked at for so long and you complete it or you accomplish it, it only makes you want to go for more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, ask me, what advice would you give me if I want to start nursing school? And that's the first thing I say. Don't give up, because it's not easy. It is not easy at all. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take studying. And for some people, I had some people in my class that it was just effortless for them. Some people, it's like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, it was not. It was hard, and it was a lot of studying, a lot of tears, and but that's the first thing I tell them is don't give up. Please don't give up.
Yeah. 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 So when I talk to nurses, I talk about one of the things I always talk about with nurses is self-care.
Hmm.
Especially when I talk with female nurses, I always talk about self-care because
Hmm.
I know that A, as women, as B, as nurses, we tend to put
Hmm.
ourselves further and further back,
Hmm.
and don't pay attention to what we need.
Right.
So my question to you is, what does self-care mean to you?
Self-care is, you have to keep or maintain this balance, work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never been the type of nurse that wants to run straight to the hospital. I feel like the hospital scene is not for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Even when I had two arms, I never felt like
yeah.
the hospital scene was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but self-care to me is putting time aside for yourself. I'm really really big on that.
Yeah.
Um, Even when I had my car accident and I wasn't able to walk, I was bedbound for like 6 months. I was trying to find people to come to my house to do my hair,
Yeah, yeah.
to do my eyelashes, to do my nails and stuff, because I felt like if you do those things, no matter what you're going through, you're gonna feel somewhat better about yourself.
Yeah.
And I try to keep that routine going. I try to, go get a mani pedi pretty often, or keep my nails and hair done, or get my makeup done, just because you have to do those kind of things, especially as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Do your yearly, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm really big on
Okay.
smile. I uh, I wanted braces so bad in
Mm-hmm.
middle school and high school, even though I really didn't need them. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom took me to several dentists, and they were like, "Oh, she doesn't need them," and I hated to hear them say that, just because I wanted them.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I became an adult, I went and got them, I didn't need them. And my mom said, "You just wasting money." She said, "You just wasting money." And but I'm really big on smile. I feel like somebody could be having the worst day and they see you smile.
Yes, 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 yes.
And who knows what your smile is radiating to them.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
And that's how I feel. And I definitely feel like God has definitely shined a light on me. And I say that because I could be out at the store looking a hot mess, the worst of the worst. And somebody will walk up to me and say, "You are so pretty."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And in my head, I automatically think it has to be God. It has to be God. That's the only thing that, only thing that I can do to explain the situation. Or they'll say, "I was having the worst day, but I'm looking at you smiling and giggling and waving, and it just made me feel so much better." Or they'll say, "I just want to hug you."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They'll say something like that, and I don't even know these people.
You don't know, yeah.
So, yeah, so it has to be God. That's the only way to explain it.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because I have to tell you, I have two daughters, and one of them has that kind of personality. We in our family we marvel at how do people just walk up to you and tell you stuff, and you leave her, you leave her for 5 minutes, and this has been since she was maybe an early teenager. You come to the store and you walk away for five, and you come, she's talking to somebody. Somebody's talking to
That's what my family says about me. They're like, "We can't take you nowhere without you talking to somebody."
Yeah. So yeah, I get it, and I get them too. I get how they do. Darn. I'm collecting these words, Lonesha. I want to know. One of the goals of this channel. One of the goals of this channel is just to highlight nurses. I want to highlight nurses to nurses. I want to highlight nurses to the public, to the people that. And I also want to see, what do we see in each other? I mean, sometimes, like, can you look at somebody and know they're a nurse?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I
You
want to
can
see
tell in their mannerism or the way that they act.
Yeah. So I'm asking nurses, if you had to describe the most essential quality of a nurse in just one word, what would that word be?
Courageous.
Courageous. And you are certainly one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say courageous because it takes a lot to wake up every day knowing that you have a family, but you're going to take care of someone else's family.
Yes. 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 Yep. And when you leave your family to go take care of someone else's family, you may leave your family needing care.
Yep.
You may leave them needing care, and you went to take care of someone else's family.
Right.
Yeah. And way back when as you brought that up, I had a conversation with a nurse whose daughter asked her about that, actually. When you go take care of all these other people, who's taking care of me? Yeah. So, and that does require courage. It requires consistency. It requires that, somehow you make them understand that you have this commitment. You have a commitment to your family, and you have this commitment to take care of other people. Yeah. Lonesha, thank you so very much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm so happy I had the opportunity to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
And I want to see you on that speaking circuit. I wish you success with that. I really do.
Yes, ma'am. I'm working on it.
Okay then.